We did steel, as you know, they're 50%. We did aluminum, 50%. Lumber just came out.
Weren't you? That's copper.
And we did cars. And now today we're doing copper.
The death toll from devastating July 4th floods in Texas rose to more than 100 people on Tuesday, many of them children. Governor Greg Abbott said authorities were also still seeking more than 180 people whose fate remained unknown.
Know this, we will not stop until every missing person is accounted for.
The bulk of fatalities and the search for additional victims were concentrated in Kerr County and the county seat of Kerrville. The town of 25,000 residents transformed into a disaster zone when torrential rain struck the region last Friday in the early morning. More than a foot of rain fell in less than an hour, twice as much as had been forecast, flooding the Guadalupe River basin. Those who died in Kerr County include 27 campers and counselors from Camp Mystic, a nearly century-old Christian girls' camp on the banks of the Guadalupe. The camp director also perished. Abbott said on Tuesday that 5 girls and a camp counselor were still unaccounted for, as well as another child not associated with the camp. In addition to deaths reported in Kerr County, Abbott said more than a dozen other flood-related fatalities had been confirmed across a swath of Texas hill country known as Flash Flood Alley. Authorities worry the death toll could climb as floodwaters recede and the search gains momentum. Public officials have faced days of questions about whether they could have alerted people in flood-prone areas sooner. On Tuesday, Kerr County Sheriff Larry Letha rebuffed questions about the county's emergency operations and preparedness. He would not say who was ultimately in charge of monitoring weather alerts and issuing flood warnings or evacuation orders. Abbott said a special session of the Texas legislature would convene later this month to investigate the emergency response and provide funding for disaster relief.
Kick off your summer by saving big at Community Chevrolet's Summer Kickoff Sales Event. We wanted to call it the Dog Days of Summer Sale, but that made Clark too excited.
They told me I had to go outside if I started barking.
Save more than 10 grand off MSRP on a new Silverado, like the electrifying 2025 Chevy Silverado EV. Or hit the beach in the all-new Chevy Malibu RS and save nearly 4 grand. The Dog Days of the Summer Kickoff Sales Event. This month at Community Chevy.
Interstate Pipe and Supply takes pride in providing superior customer service. That's why our dedicated employees are well trained and have the experience to offer friendly, quick, and reliable service and support. Need materials delivered to your job site? No problem. Interstate offers fast delivery from our 4 locations in Western Pennsylvania. We also serve Eastern Ohio, Northern Western Virginia, and Western New York. Service means business at Western Pennsylvania's premier pipe and supply company, Interstate Pipe and Supply.
Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning provides residential and light commercial air conditioning services throughout the area. They understand the importance of your cooling system working properly. That is why you can trust in Vanderhoof to do the job right. Whether it's a non-working air conditioner, yearly maintenance, or a new install, you can be assured that we will solve your problem quickly and efficiently. Your home's air conditioning system is far more than just temperature. It's a complete comfort system that combines temperature, humidity, air quality, and above all, safety. Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning in Titusville.
Looking for expert orthopedic care? Dr. Charlie Gates, a trusted name at Titusville Area Hospital, can help you regain mobility and a better quality of life. With years of experience and a passion for personalized care, Dr. Gates specializes in treating a wide range of orthopedic conditions. Whether it's joint pain, sports injuries, or orthopedic surgery, trust Dr. Charlie Gates at Titusville Area Hospital for your orthopedic care. Call 814-827-9770 today to schedule your appointment.
Welcome to Inspire Med Spa, the place you know and love for massages, Botox, laser resurfacing, and semi-permanent makeup. Now we're offering even more, including laser hair removal, tattoo removal, and hair rejuvenation. Our team is here to provide expert care in a peaceful, luxurious environment designed with your relaxation in mind. And with our newly added services, now you can get all your beauty services in one place. Visit Inspire Med Spa today, because you deserve to look and feel your best.
I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us, but try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same. But you have excuses because you're old, so it's okay.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at sounditouttogether.org.
Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding is located at 305 East Spring Street in Titusville. Marsh Home Center welcomes you in to explore their growing inventory of name brand furniture, appliances, and bedding. Need something not currently in stock? No problem. Order from Marsh's online catalog and have it delivered right to your door. Visit Marsh's to see their entire showroom, ask questions, see what items are on sale, or just stop in and say hi. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding, behind Giant Eagle in Titusville.
Whether you want to go and lead in your craft in the trades, whether you want to go and be that nurse or medical worker and have a real impact on lives, or whether you want to go and help that business improve its bottom line, this is the place. And now is your time to go with confidence, to go with skill, to go succeed. The Education and Training Center at Pitt Titusville.
Vehicle shopping? Make sure you check out Titusville Ford first. Shop our amazing selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. Visit us on Route 8 in Titusville and see why our customer service is a cut above the rest. Titusville Ford, your hometown dealer.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Levin, and I proudly own and operate Puppy Levin. Puppy Levin is a pet care salon dedicated to caring for your furry companions. We provide certified dog grooming services, along with boarding and doggy daycare. Our facility is family-owned and operated and promise personalized care for every pet that comes through our doors. If you're worried about your furry friend being lonely when you're gone, we also have on-site personnel 24/7 just for their comfort. Follow us on Facebook and call or text us at 814-758-9259 to make an appointment today.
Anyone with a kind and generous heart and a little money can be a philanthropist. You too can be a force for good in our community, and the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation is here to help you make the most of your charitable giving. We've partnered with hundreds of people like you to make our world and our community a better place. You can give through us to support scholarships or any charitable organization or purpose. Whether you're interested in establishing a permanent endowment or adding to an existing fund, we want to be a part of your plan. Contact us when you're ready to make your mark. Together, we can make your contribution go further.
The Gordon B. Garrett
U.S. stocks ended little changed on Tuesday, with the Dow the biggest mover, edging down about 0.33%, while the S&P 500 and NASDAQ closed essentially flat. President Donald Trump appeared to broaden his global trade war with the announcement on Tuesday that he would put a 50% tariff on imported copper. He added that long-threatened levies on semiconductors and pharmaceuticals were coming soon. Trump also said trade talks have been going well with the European Union and China, and that he was only days away from sending a tariff letter to the EU. But Shana Orsic-Sissel, founder and CEO of Bonrian Capital Management, said she believes lagging trade talks signal a reluctance by the Trump administration to impose high tariffs.
The fact that very few deals have gotten done since April, the fact that they continue to extend the deadlines for the tariffs to be implemented tells me that they understand that the tariffs that are being threatened are not tariffs that are good for America, not good for the global economy, and they don't actually want to implement tariffs at that level.
Still, miner Freeport-McMoRan appeared to benefit from the idea of steep tariffs on copper, with the stock ending up 2.5%. Tuesday's other stock moves included Tesla, which gained more than 1% after recording its steepest single-day fall in roughly a month on Monday. And shares of Moderna jumped nearly 9% after leading medical organizations filed a lawsuit against Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and the Department of Health and Human Services, arguing that new restrictions on access to COVID-19 vaccines pose a threat to public health.
Hey, middle of the week, and here's what we're looking at weather-wise. Cloudy skies, slight chance of a rain shower today, temperatures in the low 80s. Considerable cloudiness tonight, stray shower thunderstorm possible with lows in the low 60s. Thursday, partly cloudy, low 80s. Friday, partly cloudy, mid-80s. Saturday, partly cloudy, upper 80s. Sunday, scattered thunderstorms, low 80s. Meadville this morning, checking in at 62 degrees. Cambridge Springs, Edinburgh at 60. Titusville, 60. Franklin, 62. Oil City, 62 degrees here at 7:14. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.
Summer fun in the hot sun. 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 It's the start of another beautiful day. Thank for waking up with Amy on the morning drill.
I like that little Beach Boys style opening here this morning. Job to the Morning Drill singers putting that together for us on a Wednesday morning. How's it going?
It's going.
It's
halfway. Well, not, almost halfway there.
Through the week.
Yeah.
I was looking yesterday, and I'm like, oh my gosh, will it be halfway through the month next week? Yeah. Hey, real quick, want to thank good friend of the program, Mr. Chris Feely.
Yes. Thank you for our morning coffee.
Yeah.
Did you drink it yet?
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay,
so
thank you.
Chris brought us some coffee, I think from Kansas City. Common Grounds Mercer. Maybe not. Common Grounds Mercer.
Oh.
No. But really good. Really good. He was on a trip, and
he's been all over, so.
He has. But he brought us some coffee.
Kansas City was a good guess.
Whole bean, and that's great.
Yeah.
So people ask all the time, like guests that come into the studio, people that watch the show, you're always talking coffee. It's like, boy, you almost want to be there to have a cup of coffee. And it's like, well, if you want a fresh cup of coffee, I mean, there's great coffee places all over.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're looking for something at home, just get a grinder and get whole bean coffee and just grind it every morning. And
It kind of goes along with food, though. Usually, nothing really tastes as good as when somebody else makes it.
Ah.
But it's really, it's a good substitute for the professionals.
I did a deep dive into this last week because this bothered me. We were at a restaurant that we frequent, once a year, known for their breadsticks and unlimited salad. And it doesn't seem to be as good as it once was.
Not at all.
Okay. But there's a lot of chains that have backed off things, where it still tastes pretty much the same, but maybe the presentation isn't as precise, and maybe it feels more like people are just warming, and I'm sure they did in the past as well, warmed it up, and then, it came prepackaged, you warm it up, and maybe not made fresh there. Or they'd never get through making the food. So as I did the research on these breadsticks, because the breadsticks to me, are the biggest changes at this chain restaurant.
They're definitely not the same.
They're not the same. I found out why. I found out that it wasn't them; it was their supplier.
Oh.
There was an ingredient that they had to take out. And that one ingredient is what caused that look.
It's not.
Everything else is the exact same.
Yeah, they're not as puffy and soft and fresh feeling. They're a little deflated and crispy.
Yeah, I picked one up and it broke off and kind of flopped.
Yeah.
I was like, this isn't now the same. What garlicky, buttery paste that they put on is the same.
Okay.
It's the same. I know what they're saying. They're saying it's basically the same thing, but yes, we know everybody complains about it, but we...
So can you tell what's the ingredient? Do you remember?
It's for, I think, an allergy reason is why they had to remove it.
Got you.
Yeah. So then, as I'm reading this, I also read why this particular chain has the breadsticks, the unlimited breadsticks and salads and soups. It's because the kitchen was so busy when they first opened. People were around the block.
Yeah.
People were getting mad because it was taking forever for them to get the food.
No, I could see that.
So this place said, okay, just fill them with breadsticks and salad and soup.
Now that's kind of a staple.
And yeah, it became
one of our kids opted for the unlimited soup, salad, breadsticks for their dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they had 4 bowls of soup. So
yeah, but it seems like every time we go there, the breadsticks just get. I know they are basically they've been the same for the last handful of years. But are you looking it up? You don't believe me? Okay.
I'm trusting you. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Can I trust you?
Yeah, I wasn't the only one bothered by this. Lots of other people have gone to the internet to find out why this particular chain changed their recipe for their breadsticks.
Gotcha.
And they're passing the buck to the supplier of an ingredient.
For allergies.
Yeah. Now, you think, well, what could one ingredient make that big of a difference?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It can.
In fact, locally, there was, this was this past Sunday, I learned there's a church that has very famous bread for communion.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've had it. It's so good.
The person...
I'd like to make it for dinner.
Do you have the recipe?
I don't have the recipe.
Okay, well, here's what I found out. The person that actually has the recipe just passed away. I mean, they have it at the church.
Mm-hmm.
But she discovered this thing by accident. She put too much sugar in the recipe.
Oh?
And that's what caused that little happy accident.
I did, there isn't... When I make Irish soda bread, I put too much sugar in the first time I made it. And it was oh, this is really good. But when I followed it the next time, the boys are like, this isn't as good. I'm like, yeah, because I, put too much sugar in the first time. So it was more like a pastry. Yeah. But not, this is good bread.
Yeah.
This is great.
Well, I asked somebody Sunday, I'm like, do you... is it kind of like the KFC or Coke recipe where no one person has the entire thing? And he's like, not quite, but it's... And then as they finished up communion, it was brought up that the person who passed away, her son spoke and said, it was my mom who has the recipe, and it was a happy accident, and she put too much sugar in it one time, and everybody's been eating it ever since. But
there's a local, unfortunately she passed away too, cookie maker who they melt in your mouth cookies. Oh my gosh, they're like amazing cookies. And she took some time out, retired, and everybody's like, can I buy your recipe? Can I buy your recipe? Her daughter hung on to it, continued to make the cookies for her until she came back. But yeah, her daughter continues to make the cookies even after her death. Mm-hmm.
So she's somebody you could call if you have an event. And yeah.
Again, melts in your mouth. Oh my gosh.
And again, not taken away from any of the local bakeries. There's so many cool spots to visit.
And I know, if you're doing a mass production of something, you're trying to keep it affordable and simple and make your life a little bit easier. So sometimes it's just not possible to follow your grandma's recipe and keep all those ingredients in. It's not cost or time effective. I 100% get that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I'll watch these programs like on History Channel, Foods That Build America, or the history behind, whatever. And, I'll start looking up to see if any part of the recipe is out there. Mm-hmm. And I think people have come close to certain recipes. KFC was one where you start reading things and it's like, okay, well, actually, Colonel Sanders used this product, which is still available. You can buy it. Mm-hmm. But what else did he mix with it? There's little hints out there. But
yeah,
I think my favorite thing to try to replicate is the Orange Julius, which is something that's pretty basic. But
there's just something different when you buy it from...
Sure. But again, it's like what you said. When somebody else makes it, it always tastes better.
Exactly.
Like a salad just doesn't taste the same when you make it.
No, definitely not.
It's hard to mess up a salad.
No, I have a different... I like different things in my salad than you do. So I'm always I've got my own little bowl. Mm-hmm. And then there's yours.
Yes. While mine is fairly basic, I do put certain things in order on the salad because I am messed up like that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you are.
It's it depends. Chicken salad, right? Grilled chicken salad. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. The lettuce for me. And then, there's an order. If we have some bacon bits or croutons, I stack it in a certain way.
There's also an order,
just to mix it all up.
Our youngest and our middle son, when making a taco, there's an order for them. It's meat, then cheese, so the cheese melts into the meat, then lettuce.
Well, that makes sense.
Then toppings, then sour cream. They're just like their dad.
Yeah, messed up. All right. So again, big thanks to Chris Feely over at Drake Printing.
Delicious.
Bringing us some very good coffee. I asked him, I'm like, hey, when are you going to start drinking coffee? He goes, well, I read, if you drink 1 cup a day. I'm like, yeah, it's about what I drink, 1 cup a day. Where it's not healthy is, that's if you just drink it black.
Yeah, okay. We're changing this up.
Yeah, because, again,
are we going to celebrate birthdays?
Amy drinks creamer and adds coffee. Make that face again for everybody.
Mm-mm. Yeah. You want to celebrate some birthdays, or you want to?
I said that to one of our guests. They every time we come here, we love when Amy makes our coffee, and I said, oh yeah, Amy likes to drink creamer and adds a little coffee. She goes, that's what it is. I think that's the same with ours. I think there's a little too much creamer in it, but it's really good. I'm like, okay, now you're spoiled. All right, yeah, birthdays. What is today? Today's the 9th day of
July 9th.
July. Who's celebrating a birthday?
Tom Hanks turns 69 today.
Wow, really?
Singer Courtney Love is 61. Musician Jack White turns 50. And actor Scott Grimes is 54.
You want to dive into that one since you did so much research?
I did. I'm like, oh, he looks familiar. So he's in the movie Robin Hood with Russell Crowe that we like.
Okay.
He was also in Ted and American Dad, Party of Five.
Redhead guy.
Red hair, yeah.
Okay.
He's not ever a real lead,
but
he's very funny. Yeah. So.
All right. By the way, happy birthday to you if today happens to be your birthday from all of us here this morning on this 9th of July. So now we're going to find out what we're celebrating here today.
All right, it is Call of the Horizon Day, Fashion Day, Full Moon Day of Wasso, National Don't Put All Your Eggs in One Omelet Day. Oh my gosh, National Sugar Cookie Day.
That sounds good.
I know.
What did I was given a gift basket, a little thing yesterday from a client. And in it had, what were the chocolate chip cookies? Famous Amos. Yes.
But we watched Foods That Build America.
Yeah.
Because there was something he was making that wasn't going in the right direction. So he kept making cookies and bringing them in to his staff. And then he's like, wait, this is what I'm going to specialize in.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, they're just really good. Good cookies. Yeah.
Okay. And Nunavut Day, Nunavut Day. That's it. That's all I got.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
Well, 'tis what it is. We've got Christa Lundy, Executive Director of the Meadville Area Chamber of Commerce this morning. We have Susan Williams, President and CEO of the Venango Area Chamber of Commerce, joining us this morning.
They've got so much going on.
I know. Thunder in the City in Meadville, right around the corner. I was looking at this, the Chamber newsletter. Oil City, before Thunder in the City, the weekend before Thunder in the City. Thunder in the City in Meadville is that first weekend in August. Oil Heritage Festival in Oil City is the week before that. So the last, that week, that wraps up July. And then Titusville's Oil Festival is a week after Thunder in the City. So a lot of really big events coming up. And then you've got the Venango County Fair. You've got the Crawford County Fair. There's really...
And then school.
Okay. Slow up. Slow up. And already you've got people talking. Somebody posted, because we saw the commercials over the weekend, but there's another box store that has the Halloween stuff out because somebody went up and purchased some Halloween stuff.
Yeah.
So we're not just the only local people that get kind of crazy this time of year. So.
Can I please?
That's right.
Please.
Coming fast enough. All right. We've got your headlines if you're just joining us coming up here this morning. Let you know what's going on Wall Street weather-wise. Well, today, not too bad. Got cloudy skies. There is a slight chance of a rain shower. Temperatures in the low 80s. Headlines are coming up next.
Ones we did seal, as you know, they're 50%. We did aluminum, 50%. Lumber just came out.
March remains copper.
And we did cars. And now today we're doing copper.
The death toll from devastating July 4th floods in Texas rose to more than 100 people on Tuesday, many of them children. Governor Greg Abbott said authorities were also still seeking more than 180 people whose fate remained unknown.
Know this: we will not stop until every missing person is accounted for.
The bulk of fatalities and the search for additional victims were concentrated in Kerr County and the county seat of Kerrville. The town of 25,000 residents transformed into a disaster zone when torrential rain struck the region last Friday in the early morning. More than a foot of rain fell in less than an hour, twice as much as had been forecast, flooding the Guadalupe River Basin. Those who died in Kerr County include 27 campers and counselors from Camp Mystic, a nearly century-old Christian girls' camp on the banks of the Guadalupe. The camp director also perished. Abbott said on Tuesday that 5 girls and a camp counselor were still unaccounted for, as well as another child not associated with the camp. In addition to deaths reported in Kerr County, Abbott said more than a dozen other flood-related fatalities had been confirmed across a swath of Texas hill country known as Flash Flood Alley. Authorities worry the death toll could climb as floodwaters recede and the search gains momentum. Public officials have faced days of questions about whether they could have alerted people in flood-prone areas sooner. On Tuesday, Kerr County Sheriff Larry Letha rebuffed questions about the county's emergency operations and preparedness. He would not say who was ultimately in charge of monitoring weather alerts and issuing flood warnings or evacuation orders. Abbott said a special session of the Texas legislature would convene later this month to investigate the emergency response and provide funding for disaster relief.
Kick off your summer by saving big at Community Chevrolet's Summer Kickoff Sales Event. We wanted to call it the Dog Days of Summer Sale, but that made Clark too excited.
They told me I had to go outside if I started barking.
Save more than 10 grand off MSRP on a new Silverado, like the electrifying 2025 Chevy Silverado EV. Or hit the beach in the all-new Chevy Malibu RS and save nearly 4 grand. The Dog Days of the Summer Kickoff Sales Event. This month at Community Chevy.
Interstate Pipe and Supply takes pride in providing superior customer service. That's why our dedicated employees are well trained and have the experience to offer friendly, quick, and reliable service and support. Need materials delivered to your job site? No problem. Interstate offers fast delivery from our 4 locations in Western Pennsylvania. We also serve Eastern Ohio, Northern Western Virginia, and Western New York. Service means business at Western Pennsylvania's premier pipe and supply company, Interstate Pipe and Supply.
Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning provides residential and light commercial air conditioning services throughout the area. They understand the importance of your cooling system working properly. That is why you can trust in Vanderhoof to do the job right. Whether it's a non-working air conditioner, yearly maintenance, or a new install, you can be assured that we will solve your problem quickly and efficiently. Your home's air conditioning system is far more than just temperature. It's a complete comfort system that combines temperature, humidity, air quality, and above all, safety. Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning in Titusville.
Looking for expert orthopedic care? Dr. Charlie Gates, a trusted name at Titusville Area Hospital, can help you regain mobility and a better quality of life. With years of experience and a passion for personalized care, Dr. Gates specializes in treating a wide range of orthopedic conditions. Whether it's joint pain, sports injuries, or orthopedic surgery, trust Dr. Charlie Gates at Titusville Area Hospital for your orthopedic care. Call 814-827-9770 today to schedule your appointment.
Welcome to Inspire Med Spa, the place you know and love for massages, Botox, laser resurfacing, and semi-permanent makeup. Now we're offering even more, including laser hair removal, tattoo removal, and hair rejuvenation. Our team is here to provide expert care in a peaceful, luxurious environment designed with your relaxation in mind. And with our newly added services, now you can get all your beauty services in one place. Visit Inspire Med Spa today, because you deserve to look and feel your best.
I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us, but try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same. But you have excuses because you're old, so it's okay.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at sounditouttogether.org.
Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding is located at 305 East Spring Street in Titusville. Marsh Home Center welcomes you in to explore their growing inventory of name brand furniture, appliances, and bedding. Need something not currently in stock? No problem. Order from Marsh's online catalog and have it delivered right to your door. Visit Marsh's to see their entire showroom. Ask questions, see what items are on sale, or just stop in and say hi. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding, behind Giant Eagle in Titusville.
Whether you want to go and lead in your craft in the trades, whether you want to go and be that nurse or medical worker and have a real impact on lives, or whether you want to go and help that business improve its bottom line, this is the place. And now is your time to go with confidence, to go with skill, to go succeed. The Education and Training Center at Pitt Titusville.
Vehicle shopping? Make sure you check out Titusville Ford first. Shop our amazing selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. Visit us on Route 8 in Titusville and see why our customer service is a cut above the rest. Titusville Ford, your hometown dealer.
U.S. stocks ended little changed on Tuesday, with the Dow the biggest mover, edging down about 0.33%, while the S&P 500 and NASDAQ closed essentially flat. President Donald Trump appeared to broaden his global trade war with the announcement on Tuesday that he would put a 50% tariff on imported copper. He added that long-threatened levies on semiconductors and pharmaceuticals were coming soon. Trump also said trade talks have been going well with the European Union and China, and that he was only days away from sending a tariff letter to the EU. But Shana Orsic-Sizzle, founder and CEO of Bonrian Capital Management, said she believes lagging trade talks signal a reluctance by the Trump administration to impose high tariffs.
The fact that very few deals have gotten done since April, the fact that they continue to extend the deadlines for the tariffs to be implemented tells me that they understand that the tariffs that are being threatened are not tariffs that are good for America, not good for the global economy, and they don't actually want to implement tariffs at that level.
Still, miner Freeport-McMoRan appeared to benefit from the idea of steep tariffs on copper, with the stock ending up 2.5%. Tuesday's other stock moves included Tesla, which gained more than 1% after recording its steepest single-day fall in roughly a month on Monday. And shares of Moderna jumped nearly 9% after leading medical organizations filed a lawsuit against Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and the Department of Health and Human Services, arguing that new restrictions on access to COVID-19 vaccines pose a threat to public health.
Joining us this morning is the Executive Director of the Meadville Area Chamber of Commerce. It's Christa Lundy. Hi, Christa. How are you today?
Good morning, and that is a great forecast for a holiday weekend. Looking forward to some outdoor time, some time on the boat, fireworks on the lake. Friday, Pamatoonie, I'm going to a friend's house, and Saturday, the lake at Conneaut Lake, and picnics, and just looking forward to some great times ahead. And like you said, everyone be safe. This is always a weekend where there's a lot of extra traffic. People are staying out later. There's a lot of parties happening. Just everybody have fun, but be safe.
I will assume that law enforcement will be out in full force.
Oh, absolutely, they will.
Yeah, just... well, be good. Be safe. You can have fun.
Absolutely.
Just be smart about it. And you're right. I'll tell you, there's so many great spots to hang out. Mm-hmm. Where do you even start?
Get on social media or ask your friends and see where all of the locations are for fireworks and celebrations and different things. We have a lot of events happening on our social media page. We try to share that. Get on the Visitors Bureau page. They are showing a lot of things that are happening as well. So in every small town community, there's something fun happening for the weekend, and the weather is cooperating. And I can't believe it is July. So happy July, Luke. I mean, thunder is less than a month away now.
So I was going to ask you, when you get to the 4th, is it sort of like, I know you're trying to enjoy it, but is it like in the back of your mind going,
it's more than in the back of my mind.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm off this week, but I'm still, I was in Monday, and yesterday I was there. The girl's like, what are you doing? I thought you were off. I'm like, I am, but I'm there for like an hour and a half, and I'm doing things. I don't want to come back to like a million emails, so I always answer my emails and so forth, but we have so much going on. Yesterday I worked on Thunder in the City. Today I'm going in and working on the wine walk. Doing a little wine walk research. I think tomorrow I took the day off and going to go to a few places and get some forms signed that I haven't heard back from people, and looking forward to that. But like you said, Thunder in the City is August 1st and 2nd. It's on the front page of our newsletter everyone will be receiving this week. We are kicking off with some new things this year. Actually, the Thursday night, July 31st, is the Tool City Summer Night Cruise. Those of us that used to cruise the Diamond, I remember getting my car all cleaned up and cruising the Diamond. We are bringing that back. So lineup will be on South Main Street from 6 to 7, and then the cruise is from 7 to 9. Live music and food trucks, so looking forward to that. And then we kick things off right at noon the next day. Not noon, sorry. Noon, we will be shutting the streets down. At 5 o'clock, festivities will start. We need time to set up. But Friday night music, Clever Norman kicks things off, and then Jake's Blues, one of my absolute favorites, and he will rock the house and bring a lot of people. So that's Friday evening. Saturday, we have Fred Oakman at 2 o'clock, Jeff Rose and Joe Thompson from Titusville at 3, Ripper Acoustics, Tyler Ripper at 4, Me and the Boy at 5, and Mayflower Hill, some country rock at 7 p.m. So big thank you to Dave Stone at Firehouse Tap and Grill for being our entertainment sponsor, and then also to Bayshore Homes for being our sponsor for the afternoon music after the Meadville Master the Mic singing competition, which has been one of my favorites since we started. This will be the 3rd year for it. We talk often about how blessed we are with local talented musicians. You have family that's talented, son that's talented. I do as well, but we support local music, and this is a great way to do that. If you are out there and listening and you play the guitar, you play the keyboards, you sing, whatever it might be, join the Meadville Master the Mic singing competition sponsored by Armstrong. Win some cash, $500 for first place, $250 for second, $100 for third. We have about a dozen contestants last year, but that happens Saturday.
Do they just show up and sign up, or do they have to call in advance?
They have to send us some music in advance. Julie Panchora, our marketing coordinator, who happens to be musically talented, half of the duo 50 Miles to Empty, is handling that event, so looking forward to that. First Friday is also that Friday with sidewalk sales, and we have the Power Wheels Grand Prix for the young at heart and the kids that want to participate in that. Big thank you for that from Bayshore Homes and Howard Hanna Bainbridge Kaufman Real Estate. And then the Classic Car Cruise-In is Saturday morning. The Tool City Jeep Jam and then Jeep Show. Meadville Master the Mic, like I said. The Veteran-Led Bike Parade will leave Street Track and Trail, and they are once again our Ultra Classic sponsored. Big thank you to them. New this year, Fire Dancers will be the grand finale after Mayflower Hill on Saturday night. We have new again this year, the Real Magic Steve, first time he is participating, so looking forward to that. That is sponsored by Smoky Martin's Barbecue, Robobots demonstration, and then all our crafters and food vendors. So going to be a fun weekend, and thanks to our many sponsors who help make that event possible. Free family fun. We have a lot of food trucks lined up. We have great restaurants downtown to begin with, but a lot of our merchants have sales and specials, and we're trying to fill the streets with more crafters and vendors. So if you know of anyone interested in being part of that, that's what I'm doing the next couple weekends in all, actually. Event research, going to some events. And the staff and I and our committee, I said, if you're going anywhere, if you're going to a car show, if you're going to a Jeep show, if you're going to your local community fair, whatever it might be, when we have save the date cards for Thunder in the City and all the festivities, take them out, give them to vendors, trying to make the most and the biggest event that we've had. So
I know one of your favorites is coming up here in a couple weeks. Townville Old Home Days.
It is local. Townville is my home. I live in Meadville now, but Townville will always be my home. And Old Home Days, I don't think I've ever missed a year. My nieces are in the pageant this
nice.
year. My mom ran that pageant for many years, but it's just good feeling and seeing my parents' friends, my grandparents' friends, people that I went to church with for 30 years of my life and sat in the same pew. It's just a good feeling, makes you smile, makes you happy, and I love seeing a lot of classmates that I graduated with. And Thunder in the City is very similar, just on a bigger scale, but a lot of people have their class reunions or their family reunions on these weekends when these small town community festivals happen, because a lot of people come home for them to see family and friends. There's live music at a lot of them. There's great food at a lot of them. There's fun things you can do with your family for free. So that doesn't happen in some big cities, so we're very blessed that we do that. But you have Oil Festival here. Susan has, Oil Heritage Festival. Susan has, Tracy has, Autumn Leaf Festival. We all have different festivals that we're proud of and part of, but they also we're very proud of those events being in our small town communities.
Well, a couple things, Chris. A lot of work goes into it. First of all,
absolutely.
But it rallies the community. It brings everybody together. Those are special events. So I have to ask for Thunder, as people are coming in, where do they park? Where can people start to think? Okay, if we're coming into town, this is a good spot.
Park at the downtown mall and walk up. Park near the parking garage. All the side streets that have parking. Just because Chestnut Street and part of Park Avenue is closed, all of the side streets around that are open. Saturday, the Diamond will be open because we won't be using the Diamond other than Friday evening for the event, so that will be open. So
you'll find something.
You're gonna find a spot. So. And it's all walkable. I mean, you can park in different parking areas. There's parking up behind Erie Bank in those lots. There's parking down by Voodoo Brewery in the parking lot down there. There's a lot of different lots that you can park in.
Okay. And as you said, I mean, you just walk everywhere and just enjoy it. And I'll tell you, you're probably going to come across something that you haven't seen or recognized before as you're walking around. So.
Absolutely. So, and check out all the merchants that are downtown. We have a really thriving downtown, a lot happening. And then, that's just the first. So we have August 6th is our business after hours at Easy Desert Customs. They are just fantastic couple. Looking forward to being there. It's in Sandy Lake, and custom golf carts and other ATVs and things like that. And then they have distillery that's there, and food, and then a bait and tackle shop, a little bit of everything. So be sure to attend that. That's August 6th. And then later in the month, we have August 15th is our ribbon cutting at Prestige Shine Detailing. New chamber member out in Conneaut Lake who does top-notch work on your boat or on your vehicles, on your fleet of vehicles, your personal vehicles, whatever it might be. But we will be there at noon on Friday, August 15th. Rounding out the month, our Business Women's Roundtable in August is the 25th, and we are going to be at Eternal Glow, but actually they're the ones that are sponsoring it, and we're going to be on the Barbara J with a tour around Conneaut Lake. Wow. So ladies, this is an event where only the first 40 women are able to do this, because that is what is reserved for the Barbara J. You cannot just show up at Eternal Glow. You have to make a reservation. There will be food and cocktails and mocktails and probably little gifts from Eternal Glow, from Erica in Conneaut Lake. They're doing a lot of collaborations with other businesses out there. But she is sponsoring that. They are also our wine glass tasting sponsor for our Wine, Brew, and Spirits Walk happening. Just talked to Erica this week about that. But ladies, if you are interested, please RSVP for the Businesswomen's Roundtable.
I cannot believe that this is...
I know.
Wow.
You got the wine walk up there. That's my next page here. The first 25 are confirmed, and if we get more than that, we will certainly allow that. But the first 25 hosts, and then wineries, breweries, and distilleries get back to us. So looking forward to that.
I want to ask you a question about this and other events as well, because I think there are some businesses that when I have conversations with folks, sometimes this comes up, but an event like this, it's successful right away. You put a lot into it. And it grows every year. Is it a challenge for you? Is it I guess you or the people attending that are kind of pushing the, hey, next year, every year we want to make it better?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Every year we want to make it better. You don't want to keep things the same. It'll get stale. And I'm blessed that I have been doing this for quite some time, and most of our events run very smoothly because we have a great committee that plans it and helps execute it. We have wonderful volunteers that help us with things. I have new people that are volunteering now that might be different than a few years ago. Some of the same people. Like Thunder in the City takes a lot of volunteers. Right. A lot of volunteers, or else it would not be possible. Our golf outings, like anything that we do. But we are very blessed, and we're always having a wrap-up meeting, a summary of the event, like the week following. Hey, what did you notice that was the best part of the event? And what is some constructive criticism? What could we possibly do differently? And with example, Julie being new to the chamber, she had not been to a golf outing before, so she came to the women's golf outing. She's looking forward to this one, but she's like, hey, like, why did you do this? And like, because that's just, getting new ideas, a fresh look on things is always a positive thing to do, because you may not realize that, yeah, you've been doing it that long time and it works, but boy, you could make it even better if you did this. So always try to think of fresh ideas and things like that. And of course, we want to make it the best it possibly can be to benefit the chamber, but also benefit our members and benefit the community all at the same time.
Excellent. Because I think a lot of people struggle with that. They think, okay, how do I, put on a successful event? What goes into it? What do I do to keep people engaged? If it's going to be an annual thing.
Right.
That's why I wanted to ask that, because I think it's inspiring to know that, yes, you're constantly working, and sometimes it's probably little adjustments, and sometimes it's
correct.
Maybe something big.
You're very correct. And just like with Leadership Meadville, we ask ourselves and the class and the committee the same thing. The week after Leadership Meadville, every committee meeting, I have feedback from the class. What was your favorite part of the day? What was something you would change for next year? And sometimes an expert in their field might not be the best speaker to talk about that. Sometimes a location isn't easy to get in and out of and be dropped off at, and we don't have enough time there to really learn about the business. We might need to go somewhere else. Small changes can make a world of difference, and there might be someone different at that place who's a great speaker and can have a slideshow or something different. We just want to make it the best experience possible, and also, not everything we do is about making a profit. We are also a business. We are a nonprofit, and I run it like a business. We have to.
Yeah.
But we also want to do everything we can to be promoting our members, promoting our community, educating our youth and other leaders that are leaders for tomorrow. And so not everything is about making a profit. So we sometimes do some things for free too as well. So we run it like a business, but we also are thinking of the bigger picture and what we do throughout the year, not just event by event.
Absolutely. Good answer.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. You're watching The Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Christa Lundy is the Executive Director of the Meadville Area Chamber of Commerce, and talking about all the great events coming up. July is extremely busy. August is busy. September. And in between there, between Thunder and the Wine Walk, you've got golf, usually right at the end of August.
Fall golf outing is August 27th at Mount Hope Golf Course, so looking forward to that. I've had a few more teams register in the past couple days because I've been emailing people, hey, reserve your spot. And I know a lot of the same teams golf every year, but we need to know that information. We need to know who the teams are, what level you want to sponsor at, who is golfing, that kind of thing. And that's another thing. I'm in the space where at a meeting, I'm like, oh, well, I know these 10 teams are golfing. And Julie and Stephanie are like, we need their forms back. And we are scanning it, and we keep track. And Stephanie is my spreadsheet queen. And I'm like, oh, I know they're golfing. We need your forms back, everyone. So I'm getting a little more organized when it comes to that and telling people that I know are golfing, please just tell me who you're golfing, and I'll fill out your form. But we need to have that, just like for the wine walk. We can't just assume that you've been a host every year. And I just assumed we need their form back, so understood.
Well, and that's good, right? But
it is good.
Yeah, but and here's the thing too. Why do they keep coming back? They have a good time. Mm-hmm. They network. It's fun. You make it a great experience, and they have a good time. So yeah.
And they're telling their friends. A lot of people are bringing some of their biggest clients, some of their biggest customers. They're bringing someone new to meet other people on the golf course, whatever it might be. So
there's still time. There's still some room.
There is still time. There is still room. Okay. So there's some great sponsorship opportunities there, and a lot of business takes place on a golf course. I'm sure you know that as well. So bring business cards with you. It's a relaxed atmosphere, fun day at Mount Hope, and a lot of sponsorship opportunities, like I said. There's from hole sponsorships to breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert sponsorships, the Putt for Booze game, things like that. And then, in the meantime, Leadership Meadville 16 is almost ready. So that's what I'm going to work on when I go to the office this morning for a little bit and send out the emails to all of the people that filled out applications, send them the 2 information sessions to meet with Gary and I and Stephanie. She is the new primary contact person for the program from the chamber. She or I will be at each class with the class, so looking forward to that, meeting the next class and having them meet one another and meet Gary and hear all of the information about the next class and their days and what specific days they are and that kind of thing. So it's hard to believe.
And if you're somebody who's thinking like, I don't know if that really, I don't know, but yeah,
I don't know why you would think that. Anyone,
yes.
Whether you are 21 or 75, whether you are just starting a new career, whether you've been doing the same thing for 40 years, don't we all want to continue to grow in whatever we're doing and be the best leader that we can be the best mentor,
spouse,
be the best spouse, person, friend, partner.
Yep.
Co-worker, whatever it might be. I would think we all want to do that, and that's just a part of the program. That doesn't include the asset discovery portion. So all of the leaders that you're going to hear from on History Day, Agriculture Day, Manufacturing Day, Health and Wellness, Government and Public Safety, whatever it might be, you are hearing from experts and business and community leaders touring these places behind the scenes that you would never be able to get into on your own, and just being part of that group of Leadership Meadville alumni. We have over 300 leaders since the program has started that are now on boards of directors, that are volunteering at the soup kitchen, at the VFW, at whatever nonprofit they're part of, that are volunteering at the chamber, that are volunteering, for events and programs that we do, that are volunteering to be on the committee and help plan the future of the program. So I think I'll be there through Leadership Meadville 25. That's 10 more years. That's my goal.
Ones we did seal, as you know, they're 50%. We did aluminum, 50%. Lumber just came out.
Merchant, that's copper.
And we did cars. And now today we're doing copper.
over 11 years, Triple M Roofing has been providing Amish quality craftsmanship and work ethic that you can rely on. Pole barns, decks, porches, siding, and almost all roofing needs, Triple M Roofing will get the job done on time without sacrificing quality or the promise to deliver within your budget. Call today for a free estimate, 814-964-0472. Waiting is what you'll do with the other guys. Getting it done is what we do. Amish owned and operated, we're Triple M Roofing.
Who can solve this equation? Ooh, me. Anyone else? Fine. Jake from State Farm. Again.
Right. It's the personal price plan theorem. If you bundle your home and auto, that can equal an affordable price just for you.
Bundling, just another way to save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Are you tired of juggling multiple pill bottles? Titusville Express Pharmacy has your solution, now offering compliance packaging. Your medication sorted and sealed by dose, making it easier than ever to stay on track. In a hurry? Take advantage of our convenient drive-through service. We also offer free local delivery for those that qualify. Titusville Express Pharmacy, where convenience meets care. Visit us today at 401 West Spring Street in Titusville. Simplify your medication routine with Titusville Express Pharmacy.
Poppy's Equipment and Storage Rental in Pleasantville is committed to providing our customers with exceptional service while offering quality rental equipment. Poppy's is now an authorized steel dealer with everything you need to have for sawing and cutting or mowing to digging. And of course, Poppy's has tents, tables, chairs, heaters, generators, barbecues, and more for your next wedding or get-together. Need firewood or propane? No problem. Whether you're in construction or a weekend warrior, reach out to Poppy's about your next project. Poppy's Place on the Tenesta Road in Pleasantville. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, serving Crawford, Venango, Forest, and Warren counties. Their mission is to provide quality, low-cost, and personal financial products for the growth and security of their members and families. Stop in, call, or visit our website, communityconnectfcu.com, and click Join to get started. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, 1050 East Spring Street in Titusville.
Fat Chad's Brewing is Titusville's premier dining destination, offering fine dining served with a cold beverage and great conversations. Try our new menu items, the T-bone steak, homemade meatloaf dinner, or soft shell crab tacos. Our pasta entries and sandwiches are just as popular. Try the new lobster ravioli, shrimp and scallop pasta, or our popular Asiago chicken. Don't forget about our famous burgers or fish sandwich, all served with fresh cut fries. Come in Saturday nights for Wild Game Saturdays. For good food and good times, it's Fat Chad's Brewing in Titusville.
Titusville Market Square is home to over 100 unique vendors featuring antiques, collectibles, candles, coins, baked goods, dairy products, food items, comic books, toys, and so much more. You'll discover something new every time you walk through the door. Did we mention the selection of baked goods, breads, Clark's Donuts, and Amish pies? Titusville Market Square has you covered. Stop in to explore today. Titusville Market Square in downtown Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
U.S. stocks ended little changed on Tuesday, with the Dow the biggest mover, edging down about 0.33%, while the S&P 500 and NASDAQ closed essentially flat. President Donald Trump appeared to broaden his global trade war with the announcement on Tuesday that he would put a 50% tariff on imported copper. He added that long-threatened levies on semiconductors and pharmaceuticals were coming soon. Trump also said trade talks have been going well with the European Union and China, and that he was only days away from sending a tariff letter to the EU. But Shana Orsic-Sizzle, founder and CEO of Bonrian Capital Management, said she believes lagging trade talks signal a reluctance by the Trump administration to impose high tariffs.
The fact that very few deals have gotten done since April, the fact that they continue to extend the deadlines for the tariffs to be implemented tells me that they understand that the tariffs that are being threatened are not tariffs that are good for America, not good for the global economy, and they don't actually want to implement tariffs at that level.
Still, miner Freeport-McMoRan appeared to benefit from the idea of steep tariffs on copper, with the stock ending up 2.5%. Tuesday's other stock moves included Tesla, which gained more than 1% after recording its steepest single-day fall in roughly a month on Monday. And shares of Moderna jumped nearly 9% after leading medical organizations filed a lawsuit against Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and the Department of Health and Human Services, arguing that new restrictions on access to COVID-19 vaccines pose a threat to public health.
Joining us this morning, the President and CEO of the Venango Area Chamber of Commerce. It's Susan Williams. Good morning, Susan. How are you?
Good morning. It's a beautiful day in Venango County.
It's been outstanding. It's been wonderful just to get out, and it's great to see visitors come to our area, especially over the 4th of July holiday. And
all of the local events were just packed for the 4th of July holiday. It was so nice to see so many people out and have beautiful weather, and fortunately we're getting just enough rain to keep things green and our flowers all perked up. But yeah, it's nice to have these warm temps this time of year. Nice to see that it's warm enough that people can get into water.
Yes. And I'll tell you, it's another great reminder of the resources we have here in Northwest Pennsylvania. Some beautiful spots to, again, whether it's the trails, whether it's the waterways, it's great spots to eat and take in some beverage, whatever it is you're doing, we've got a location for you.
Yeah, and so many choices. So if you're bored with the location you've been going to, just go 5 to 10 miles in any direction, and there's more to see and do.
That's right. Well, what have you been working on the past week?
Boy, well, we're working a lot on this little festival thing that we've been doing for a couple of years. So Oil Heritage Festival is today Wednesday? So the actual kind of official kickoff is 2 weeks from today. Yikes. So we're ready. We are ready. We are buttoning up all the details now. I was just peeking to see how our schedule looks. So out on our website, we've got a nice complete schedule. I will say, though, we think there's a couple of other things that are going to make their way on. We try not to put things on the schedule until we're pretty sure of the details. We don't want to put something on and take something off. So there's a couple things that have happened before that we think are going to get on there, but we need to know a location and a time. But you can peruse that schedule at oilheritagefestival.com. We will have things start happening at our pre-festival events on July 19th. So if you have not yet picked up your Bike and Brew tickets, there are plenty available right now, but we have sold out every year. So as a reminder, if you've got a busy Saturday the 19th and are like, darn, I can't go, you can make arrangements to get a bag. Ideally, we'd like it picked up that day because the I think 15 or more beers that will be in there will be nice and cold. But you can have a friend pick it up, and you can take it home and drink at your leisure, or you can come and spend some time with us that day. There will be the annual softball tournament will get started. On Monday, we've got Junior Olympics. Tuesday, we've got things going on at the museum, some silent film stuff going on. And again, Wednesday, the 23rd, that's when it really starts happening. So if you want any details, you can ask me, but I'll tell you, they're all there online. And everything from food and music. And of course, we'll have the ribbon cutting for the exchange here in our building that afternoon at 3 o'clock. We're expecting a big crowd that day. And town will be hopping like the 4th of July.
Excellent. I know there's a lot of excitement for it. And, it's funny, you mentioned, it's coming up, 2 weeks from now. As I was going through the newsletter when I got it the other day, I'm like, oh, here's the recap of the golf outing. I'm like, wait, that's not the recap. It's coming up, right? Like, no.
It's the recap. It's over and done with for this year. A great event. We had, we like to limit ours to 26 teams. We had 24. So shame on the 2 teams that didn't join us. They missed a really good day. I don't know who that was, but we had a great day. We had just enough rain to cool us off midday, but not to stop play for very long. So, that's on the calendar for next year already. But, we started talking about Cranberry Festival yesterday. So there's always something in the mix that's coming up. Our steak fry in August. So if you haven't been to our steak fry, it's one of my favorite events of the year because it's really a relaxing event for me and my staff. We have a little work to do to get ready, but everybody pitches in a bit. But really all eyes are on festival right at the moment.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, you're going from Oil Heritage Festival to Steak Fry to Cranberry Festival and all this planning. But you also throw in the leadership program and making sure that's ready to go. You're also talking at that point, a new school year and, the education component.
Venango Ready gets started. Yep, Hannah will get her real introduction to what's going on in the schools. She certainly did before the end of the school year. And of course, we have our 2 summer interns here right now, so they've been really helping us out with our programs from Oil Heritage Festival, which Olivia is more focused on, and our young man is working on more on the Heart and Soul program. And we have so much going on here every day. It's an exciting place to work, and we get to spend so much time with good people. I know I have a day filled with appointments today where we're working on next month's newsletter. So I've got some interviews planned for today, some catch up with some other local leaders, and that's the one thing that with us publishing that newsletter every month, we already know what our deadlines and print dates are for the end of July, which is immediately following Oil Heritage Festival.
Wow.
So we know that we have to have a lot of that stuff in the hopper, ready to go, so that we actually can keep some sense about ourselves.
Yeah, a lot of planning and again, as we talk throughout the year, it's something that seems like it's always in the back of your mind, and it's coming up, and now it's here, and and likewise, businesses should be thinking ahead because more and more people are expecting to see things, I think, in advance, not a week or a couple days before an event, but quite a ways out.
They want to be able to plan. You're kind of competing with a lot of other things going on, whether it's across the state or across the country. People are moving fast and moving far these days. So if you want to keep people in your community or you want to attract people to your community, it's good to know what's going on around you. And when you can, leverage that for some co-marketing, come to our area. And oh, by the way, when you're driving through a neighboring community, you might want to stop and see this, or you might want to stay there and then come in. So you do want to be thinking ahead so people can really make a plan. We definitely find that people want to be able to get to information, so make it easy for them to get to it. That's why we really focused more on the digital schedule. But if somebody needs us to, we can print them a schedule, or they can print the schedule right from the website. So we won't be blasting those all over the community like we did in the past, because we knew that did create some paper waste. There was quite a cost to us both to print those and then to get them out and delivered. So, but we understand there's some people that really want to have something they can fold up, put in their back pocket, like me. And so we want to make sure that there's a format like that you can get to and use if you need to.
Well, and as you've, talked since you announced doing this a few years back, things change, and it's a great way to, again, you can update things really quickly online, and people have that, accessible to them. So...
Yeah, for sure. Well, something that you kind of were nodding to, and I think is worth revisiting too, is how do we get ready as businesses for the visitors in our community? And we've talked a lot about cleanup, and that's been on my mind a lot as I've helped with some of the volunteer effort to do a little bit of weeding and a little bit of, whatever it's taking to get our streetscape nicer. Part of it is just to the aesthetics of having it look nice, but part of it is when it's well kept, it means eyes are on it, which means it feels safer. So we want to have communities where it's obvious to visitors and to our residents that people are paying attention. And so when I'm on this street or in this downtown, I know that people are caretaking. So I feel safer because I'm there. But I just was talking to a friend from the other side of the state, and we were talking about, the little debate about whose responsibility is it? What is that planter or that sidewalk the responsibility of the business owner, or is it the responsibility of the city, or who should be doing that? And what I've been repeating to people is nobody cares whose responsibility is. What a visitor cares about is, doesn't anybody care? So it reflects on probably the closest business and the community as a whole. So people are just not pausing to figure out whose responsibility it is to pull that weed or clean that dirt off the walk or to, blow the cobwebs off of a window seal. What they see is this represents the community I'm visiting. So anytime you see something that needs done, if you'll just take the time to, bend over and pick up the trash or pull that little weed, or, tools can be inexpensive or borrowed now to do those kind of things. I'm sure there are other people in the community like me that would lend you something if you need it to be part of a volunteer effort. So this is the time for everybody to pitch in. I would say, based on some news I've seen, don't weed whack your neighbors' weeds without asking permission. You might just get yourself thrown in jail. But do consider that if it is part of your community streetscape, find out how you can appropriately help get things cleaned up. Who in the community do you need to check with? But if it's obviously a weed or a piece of trash, just take care of it.
Great advice. And again, as you said, the welcome mats are coming out, and really, it's all summer. It's not just the festival season. And you get a lot of visitors, but again, from beginning of June through the end of August and into the fall season, we have so many people that come through our area to visit, just to make sure that all the time you're kind of keeping an eye out for this stuff. It's really important.
Well, I don't want to put you on the spot, but did you have a chance to read the cover story for the newsletter this month?
I haven't yet.
Oh, well, I'm excited to have you do that, because that talks about another little audit you need to do in your business, in your community, and that's the words you use.
Yes.
So I would encourage anyone that hasn't read it. We've had some rave reviews, and that was really a team effort from, we'd recently had Ashley from our staff had written a letter to the editor that really focused on how we talk to our students about the community we live in, that it matters. If the same time people will be saying that we're losing good young people, that we need to attract them to the community, they're also talking smack on our communities, about how there's no good jobs here and there's nothing to do and we don't have good leadership. So it's really, really important that you're communicating the best parts of your community. Certainly challenge our young people to come back and help solve some of the problems. It's not all good, but that matters. So Ashley wrote a beautiful letter to the editor. That's been a month or so ago, and then that was followed by a letter from Kelsey May. And hers was really, she's has a business here in Oil City, and was really talking about the pride she has in her community and how it's hurtful when people talk bad about the community that she lives in. So we worked on a collaborative effort to say, how do we even build on those and talk to people about how do you make sure that the words that you're speaking raise up instead of tearing down. It's really important.
And it's funny you bring that up. I have been in meetings where you have somebody that has moved to this area, didn't grow up here, but moved here, started a business, and they're in a meeting with other business owners, people who have lived here all their lives, and they're like, it's so beautiful, and there's so many great things. And you've got people saying, what are you talking? And it's like, do you not see this? And I think we talked about this. We sort of take for granted because we've been here, and we kind of maybe some of us forget that we do live in such a beautiful area, and we have great businesses doing amazing things every single day. And there are things going on. Oh, check out the community calendars in all our communities. There's always something happening.
Speaking of which, I believe it's today that we have a training on our community calendar that people are welcome to participate in. So if you would like to learn more about our community calendar, particularly how you can put items on the calendar and leverage that calendar for your business or organization, that's at noon today. I apologize that I can't tell you right off the top of my head how to register for that, but call our office after this or go on our website. You may be able to register I can check on our events. But we want to make sure that everybody knows how to really, really leverage that community calendar and use that. Again, I think that's today at noon. But yeah, there's so much going on. And the interesting thing, Luke, when we talk about how we sometimes quit noticing the beautiful things, we also sometimes quit noticing the things that need attention. So, back to the garbage or the weed or the, dust on a window seal, we sometimes aren't noticing those little details. We just walk by them and we, forget to look at those at the same time that we get very focused on the problems in the community that we don't like. So it's really, really about perspective and using to choose your words. And as I told one of our councilmen in the last week, it's not about just choosing your words on Facebook or in big public forums. It's about really auditing the conversations you're having day to day with your family, your coworkers, those little times when you're saying something. Think about the tone you're using, how you're referencing the leaders in your community. Again, are you helping to lift them up and help them problem solve, or are you tearing down? And most of us can pretty easily think about a time in the last day, week, or month when someone has said words that fell odd on us. They just fell in a way that they just sucked the air out of us. So Are you doing that to other people? How are your words landing? And maybe have a talk with someone today about that.
And it might have to be a talk with yourself. Take yourself in the back room and go, what am I doing?
Someone just posted on Facebook, does anybody else have a voice in their head talking to them all the time? And we're like, yep, I do indeed.
And that's okay.
So what is that voice telling you? Is it telling you it's okay to tear down others in your community, or is that it saying, how can I be a helper today?
Excellent point. You're watching The Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Susan Williams with us here this morning, President and CEO of the Venango Area Chamber of Commerce. Along those lines, Susan, if you are finding that you're talking like that and you're not really taking in what's going on, find an organization to volunteer with and start to get involved, and you'll meet people and you'll start to discover, yeah, you know what? There's a lot of need out there, and there's a lot to do to help out.
I think another good thing to do is, and this can be hard. I'm going to remind myself to do this. Start your day-to-day with agreeing to ask more questions than making statements. So we recently met a community member that I was not familiar with, and we started off our exchange with him telling me the way things are. And by the end of a couple conversations, he was beginning to ask questions so that I could tell him, oh, you know what? Somebody is working on that. Maybe it's not fast enough. Maybe it's not the right approach. But in the beginning, the assumption was nobody else knows this problem exists. Nobody's working on it. Somebody oughta. And by the end of the conversation was, let's think about who is working on it. What are they doing? What are the barriers? Who are the other people they need to involve? So, are you willing to maybe make that call to the chamber, to the city offices, and be persistent? Often when you call the first person that answers the phone, they don't know. So don't assume that because they don't know, nobody else knows or nobody else is working on that problem. Be willing to say, well, I'm really trying to find this out so that we're being efficient in how we address community issues and how we're communicating information to others.
Well said. Well said. Or call a realtor and just say, hey, what are your selling points?
Yeah. Why would I want to move to this neighborhood or this community? Great point. And if the realtor isn't clear and encouraging about that, then call another realtor. and then call that realtor back and say, hey, I learned some things about the community you might need to know.
That's right.
We do hope that our realtors are some of our biggest cheerleaders for bringing people into our community, putting them into home ownership or business ownership. So.
It is fascinating if you do have a few minutes to talk to one, because they have some great stories of people that visit our area. And it's amazing, too. It's nice when there is a connection, like, oh, I had family that lived here or I grew up here. But there's a lot of others who are, they find this area online, they do research, and they visit. I was talking to somebody that was just passing through. They stopped off for a meal and saw an event going on, and they're like, wow, this is fantastic. I didn't realize so much was happening here.
Oh, we have many, many stories of people that because of an event, one of the larger festivals or just one small exchange. I remember a past mayor who said it was 2 or 3 times at intersections with 4 stops and watching people that were like, no, you go, no, you go, no, you go. They're like, where else does this happen? We're moving to rural Pennsylvania. Like they take turns. So it is really, truly those little things that can be the thing that attracts the person that opens the next business who, I've said it before, it might be the doctor that decides to come here that saves your life someday or gives you that new knee or whatever it takes. We want to be the community that those people want to live in. And so we've definitely seen it with our artist community. I was watching, I think Sunday morning over the weekend, and they were profiling a community in Colorado that the arts has just changed where they are. And honestly, as I watched that, I thought, oh gosh, is this a story about Oil City on national TV? But communities across the country are understanding that things like the arts can really attract people that will own and caretake homes and commercial buildings and really add a new flavor to the community. So it's all those little things. They all add up.
Before we wrap up, I know this is a really busy time. Is this a time for somebody who might be thinking about joining the chamber to call and set up an appointment to discuss this with you, or should they wait till after festival?
Oh, they definitely should not wait.
Okay.
Now, if they choose to wait, we respect that and want everybody to join at the right time for their business. But Kat or I will make time to talk with anybody, to either send them information, to meet with them personally. We definitely can make time even during these busy days. We can manage that. So we would love to talk with anyone who would like to know how to support the chamber, whether that's through membership, sponsorship, or just being a friend of the chamber. Are you, you hear I'm a little on my soapbox today. So are you listening to our message about what we think builds better community and better business? How can you be a part of that? There's room for everybody, whether you can support financially or whether it's just, knowing and understanding what's going on. We'd like you to be part of that.
That's wonderful. And I've never turned anybody down to meet and grab a cup of coffee and talk.
Oh, include a cup of coffee and I'm all there. Food is even better. Yeah.
Susan, great catching up with you. If anybody has questions, want more information, how do they get a hold of you?
Well, they can call our office at 814-676-8521. We are located at 100 Seneca Street. You're going to have to wobble around a little bit to get in here and get through the door and on the elevator and up to find us. We'd love it if you let us know you're coming, just because it is a little bit of a journey. So we'd love to be able to greet you. And, of course, online, we're at venangochamber.org. You'll find all of our contact information there.
Good to see you, Susan. Thank you.
Have a great week.
You too. Take care. That's a Susan Williams joining us here this morning.
Ones we did seal, as you know, they're 50%. We did aluminum, 50%. Lumber just came out. Commercial, that's copper. And we did cars. And now today we're doing copper.
Jasmine Levin, and I proudly own and operate Puppy Levin. Puppy Levin is a pet care salon dedicated to caring for your furry companions. We provide certified dog grooming services along with boarding and doggy daycare. Our facility is family owned and operated and promise personalized care for every pet that comes through our doors. If you're worried about your furry friend being lonely when you're gone, we also have on-site personnel 24/7 just for their comfort. Follow us on Facebook and call or text us at 814-758-9259 to make an appointment today.
Anyone with a kind and generous heart and a little money can be a philanthropist. You too can be a force for good in our community, and the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation is here to help you make the most of your charitable giving. We've partnered with hundreds of people like you to make our world and our community a better place. You can give through us to support scholarships or any charitable organization or purpose. Whether you're interested in establishing a permanent endowment or adding to an existing fund, we want to be a part of your plan. Contact us when you're ready to make your mark. Together, we can make your contribution go further.
The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home has been serving the needs of Titusville and surrounding communities since 1965. Mr. Garrett believed in tradition and commitment to excellence, standards that have been passed down from one generation to now a new generation, who will work to provide you with a beautiful, lasting tribute to your loved one. When you need them, they will be there for you. This has been their foundation for almost 60 years. The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home, 303 North Washington Street in Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
Sheer Design is Titusville's exclusive Paul Mitchell focused salon. This full-service salon specializes in coloring, cuts, nails, and tanning. Owner Angela Saxon has over 20 years experience as a Paul Mitchell professional. She and her licensed staff offer all cuts and styles for men and women of all ages. Call 814-827-0010 or stop in at 116 South Kerr Street in Titusville.
J. Gill Plumbing and Heating takes pride in being the premier heating and air conditioning service provider in the area. With over 30 years of experience, our highly skilled and certified technicians will work closely with you to address your heating and air conditioning repair, installation, or maintenance needs. Our team is dedicated to making your home the ultimate place of comfort. Call today to get a free estimate. We also offer financing options and membership opportunities that provide peace of mind and cost savings. Call J. Gill Plumbing and Heating today or visit them online 24/7 at jgillplumbingheating.com.
If you're looking for a professional massage therapist, Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville is here for you. Rayanne Rauch graduated from Slippery Rock University with a bachelor's degree in exercise and rehabilitative sciences with an emphasis in athletic training. Tranquil Moments offers a wide range of services, from Swedish massage to deep tissue, sugar scrubs to hot towel inclusion therapy. Like them on Facebook and visit their website to learn more about all the services they offer. Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville.
Share the fun of train travel and relive our country's oil history as you ride the OC&T through the valley that changed the world. Learn about the past while traveling on vintage cars. See a variety of wildlife with stops at Drakewell Park, Petroleum Center, and Oil Creek State Park. Arrive early and see the vast collection of train and railroad memorabilia at Perry Street Station. After the ride, enjoy a night's stay at the Caboose Motel. For seasonal specials or for more information, visit octrr.org or call 814-676-1733.
U.S. stocks ended little changed on Tuesday, with the Dow the biggest mover, edging down about 0.33%, while the S&P 500 and NASDAQ closed essentially flat. President Donald Trump appeared to broaden his global trade war with the announcement on Tuesday that he would put a 50% tariff on imported copper. He added that long-threatened levies on semiconductors and pharmaceuticals were coming soon. Trump also said trade talks have been going well with the European Union and China, and that he was only days away from sending a tariff letter to the EU. But Shana Orsic-Sizzle, founder and CEO of Bonrian Capital Management, said she believes lagging trade talks signal a reluctance by the Trump administration to impose high tariffs.
The fact that very few deals have gotten done since April, the fact that they continue to extend the deadlines for the tariffs to be implemented tells me that they understand that the tariffs that are being threatened are not tariffs that are good for America, not good for the global economy, and they don't actually want to implement tariffs at that level.
Still, miner Freeport-McMoRan appeared to benefit from the idea of steep tariffs on copper, with the stock ending up 2.5%. Tuesday's other stock moves included Tesla, which gained more than 1% after recording its steepest single-day fall in roughly a month on Monday. And shares of Moderna jumped nearly 9% after leading medical organizations filed a lawsuit against Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and the Department of Health and Human Services, arguing that new restrictions on access to COVID-19 vaccines pose a threat to public health.
We got Susan and Bill with us here this morning from Titusville Market Square. Good morning. Good to see you this morning.
Good morning.
We were just talking about how fast not only the year, but summer's just flying through. And
this 4th of July weekend.
I know. It's a busy week. You've got a busy weekend coming up. But for Market Square, there's also a lot going on, and big lead up to Oil Festival and a big event that you guys are putting on. So where do you want to start?
Oh, I don't know. I guess
we'll start with the wine festival.
We'll start with the wine. We are busy winding up for that. Tickets are on sale. You can come into Market Square and get them. They are also available online if you go to Eventbrite. So tickets can be purchased there. We're still adding a couple more wineries. We have our preliminary lineup there. Wine-up, huh? The wine-up.
Yeah.
So we have our house vendor, Broken Straw. I have a bottle of their wine here for show and tell. We have Star Hill coming back, Twisted Vine Winery, Deer Creek, our friends down in Franklin, the distillery Grumpy Goat. We have both local brew houses, Fat Chad's and Oars. So we've got a pretty good lineup, but we have a couple others that we have to confirm just this week. But everybody will get a complimentary wine glass and I don't know if it's going to be a 2-bottle or a 4-bottle, but you will get a wine tote this year. And there's just lots of food of the markets coming out. We feature all our cheese vendors, our ham loaf. We make meatballs and things with our burger vendor.
Oh, wow.
Just, all of our sweet treats, our pickled items, while relish trays out with all the Amish wedding products. So a lot to taste. Not just wine, but food, wine, shine, brew.
Now,
we do it all.
Susan, is Bill helpful during this process, or is he sampling everything?
He's eating the profits. No, I don't know. I made that up. But entertainment, we have our local flashback band performing again. And last year we added something new, like opening act for the band. My brother's good friend and classmate, Tom Wotus. He's a very professional keyboard player, and he does some nice kind of dinner hour leading up to the. You can talk about Tom.
He does a lot of the good classical music. Nat King Cole, Frank Sinatra, and 60s pop music, and sometimes I jump up on the mic with him as well. So. And just a lot of great music for the starting the event.
That's I jump up on the mic with flashback.
Yeah.
my one-hit wonder.
She's a little bit country, and I'm a little bit rock and roll, or the Donnie Marie of Titusville. So.
That's great. Again, so when you buy a ticket, you get all this, right?
Yeah, everything's included. We have a nice program. We'll have some fun goodies and giveaways in your tote bag. We offer some nice features like a wine check. If you want, tasted some wine and want to purchase some, we have a wine check in the building. You can come back later that night or the following day or the weekend because there's a lot going on. Maybe you want to scoot on up and see some crafters after you've purchased your wine. You don't have to lug the bottles of wine around. So that's a real nice feature there.
I always smile because one of the first signs of Oil Fest for me is seeing your tents go up, and it's just exciting, and it signals a big event, and that's wonderful.
We bring them in on Thursday, so that's always the clue that it's happening because we're ready to roll on Friday night.
Now, Is it best to get your tickets online, or it's just more of a convenience thing? Like
It's probably more of a convenience thing. I would, either way is fine.
But if you stop in to get your tickets, you get to walk around and see all the cool things.
Right.
Yeah.
You get to see the store. And speaking of wine-related items in the store, we have a Tuscan Vineyard candle. We have some wine items, fun little wine signs or wine flags. So in addition to Broken Straw, our in-house winery, there's just fun decorative wine signs and accessories. So
excellent.
I suggest come on in.
Yeah. Well, again, you can walk in every day and you're going to discover something new or different. So, get your tickets. You can pick up something to eat. And the other thing is, we talked before, Susan, people on their way to work, coming home from work, if you need milk, something for dinner, you got everything. Snack. I was looking at the ice cream the other day.
Yeah, that pot of gold ice cream.
It's addictive. Like, people come back for that. They're all good. All those ice creams are good.
Yeah, and then for you, Bill, one of the great parts of the store is the comic books and seeing all the great things that you have over there.
Yep. I'm the first vendor of the store. I'm vendor 101. Our vendors are 3-digit numbers, and I'm 101, Comic Books 101. I have a variety of all the new comic books that come out every week, a bunch of new comics. And to mention, there's a couple big movies coming out this summer. There's a Superman and the Fantastic Four. So I just brought a few samples of comics. I do have these comic books. They're called facsimile editions, and they're exact reprints of the original comics. Like, here's Fantastic Four #1. To get the original, you're spending upwards of $500,000 to find a mint condition one. This just came out in 1961, like me. Good one. I'm worth
and you're fantastic.
Yeah, I'm fantastic. I'm worth $500,000 as well. But anyway, so I have issues 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
You have issues, all right.
I have lots of, I have issues.
$1 million bill.
And so you can come in and get these great books for, $4, not $500,000. So, and you can read those.
And you know what? When you do that, it's okay to read those. If you buy the one that's $1 million, you don't want to touch that.
You don't want to touch it. You want to encase it and have it beautiful, and
Yeah.
Then the Superman movie's coming out, so I have a wide variety of Superman books coming out. And of course, I have a wide variety of Batman. There's a whole shelf of just Batman and Batman related. There's a new popular title. It's called Absolute Batman. It's kind of a retake, a new kind of story around Batman. These are very popular. So
I know we mentioned this, I think, with maybe some of the Marvel movies, but when a movie comes out, like Superman's coming out here next week or 2 weeks, do you see an increase in interest in that?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm seeing a lot of more younger readers come back in, because comic books has been more like an older thing, like people in their 40s, 50s, 60s. Now I'm seeing some teenagers kind of getting rekindled, interested in comic books. So.
And the other thing is, are they gravitating towards the old school, the original stuff, and wanting to catch up, or are movies also going to these authors and artists and saying, hey, create a comic off of our version of this movie?
Yeah, absolutely. For instance, like, here's a story called Invincible. It's very popular. The young kids, watch this show, Invincible, a cartoon show, and it's based on this unique comic, so they're coming in after stuff like that.
Wow, okay. Yeah. You got quite a collection. It's going to be hard for somebody to come in and not find something because you have such a variety of comics, and well known to some of the cool ones that you might want to pick up. Yeah,
obscure. And you can come in, and I've been working diligently, and I have thousands and thousands of back issues, and they're organized too. So if you come in, there's some stores that are just so chaotic, but I'm organized. If you want a specific title, I can take you right to it, like a librarian.
Yeah, that's awesome. And again, if you're looking to start something and you're looking for some advice, people can talk to you and say, hey, where do I start? How do I get started?
Yep.
And I think probably part of that conversation is like, what are some of your interests?
Absolutely. And I always tell people, hey, I'm the comic guy. If you have any questions, just ask me. And I have thousands of really inexpensive comics too, like 50 cents a piece if you're just trying to get your young kid into reading. Some of the books are beat up and whatnot, but they're just a good variety for very inexpensive to get in.
you specialize in this with the other job, but there are lots of kids that won't pick up a book or something to read. Maybe they just don't find the interest, or maybe they're playing games. But here's a great avenue into that world.
Absolutely. It's a great transition to get them into reading. And the kids do, because I see kids, I work with kids, I learn kids how to read good, that's what I always say. But I teach kids at elementary school, and I see that, some of the kids that struggle, but they come in and they really get excited about comic books, so it's a good, good thing to teach them to read.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Another thing, we have been doing lately is this gaming. I talked about Dungeons and Dragons. We have once a month a group that comes in, and it's always the last Sunday of the month. And our next one's coming up is July the 27th. And we have like 6 to 8 people, and we set up a table, and they have fun all day Sunday playing, Dungeons and Dragons. And then even if you don't sign up to play, you can come in and look over their shoulders and see what's going on. And then starting in August, we're going to start to go like 2 days. We're going to do the last Saturday and Sunday of the month. So we're kind of looking towards that.
Okay. And then, in terms of like role-playing games like that, if somebody comes in and they're looking for something, can you help them find other role-playing games and things?
Absolutely, and I'll special order anything. I have this great catalog, and I do stock a lot of like the Dungeon and Dragon. There's figures and books and things like that, and I have the Magic and Pokemon cards. So anything gaming, I have the most popular stuff in stock, but I will special order unique things so anybody can come.
Because if anybody has ever looked at that stuff, especially like Dungeons and Dragons, there's a million books with character development and stories and all that. Where do you even start? Like, you'd be able to say, okay, this is the book you need, or here's a couple books you have to start with.
And I do stock those. They're called the basic core books. There's the Player's Guide, the Dungeons Master Guide, and the Monster Manual. They're the kind of the basic 3, and I usually stock them. And every... I can order anything. I wanted also...
we have a tie-in there.
Yeah, I have a tie-in. Also on the 27th, we have this Aaron Roeder, a local guy. Our local gentleman. He's written a book kind of loosely based on... Oh, yeah. Oh, that was our sticker. He has a book called Shattered Divinity. He's a local author, and it's kind of a loosely based on Dungeons and Dragon type of theme. He's coming in to do a signing that very day, the Sunday, July 27th. So if you want to come in and meet an author, and you can come in on that day.
And was that a thing, too, where like Stranger Things and its popularity, did that kind of also bring people to role-playing games and Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah, absolutely. I carry the Stranger Things comic book, and
there you go.
Everything ties in and crosses over. And like I always said, too, the comic book store kind of crosses over with everything else, because the concept of our business was just to get somebody in the store and have like a lot of different vendors. And so I used to be in a standalone comic store, and I would have a family come in, and then half the family like, let's get out of here. So now like I can have my comic person really focus, and then the rest of the family can go buy wine, candles, dairy products, antiques. So
Susan, that kind of leads into... how do you know where everything is in the store? I mean, there's so much to explore. When somebody comes in, I think sometimes they just let them go, right? And let them look.
We're pretty good. I mean, because we're there every day. I can, like him with the comic books, I know what corner things are hiding in. But we have, I was going to say, to speak of new people, too, we have that new antique lady that has local milk bottles and things, too.
Yes.
So there's...
Sue McDowell's one of our new vendors. I want to give a shout-out to her. She just brought in a bunch of really cool milk bottles, and some of them, like, say, Titusville Dairy or Oil City, some really interesting bottles. So,
come check that out.
Yeah. And then I don't know if we talked last month, but we had very popular Amish rugs. That gal left for a while. Those are back and doing very well. So if you like those hand-woven Amish rugs, back in stock. And
maybe we'll add that to our commercial there.
There we go.
Yeah. Well, you had said that like they sold out, and then when you got them in, I mean, they go quickly. So if you see them in there,
yes. And with almost all products, don't not trying to pressure sell you, but countless times somebody's like, I was going to come back and get that. I should have grabbed it, and it's gone. So.
There's our right.
If you see there's we do have the Amish rugs in there. Yeah. So if we have, if you see something unique, or we'll even hold something. If you want to think about it for a minute, we have a hold, like a little layaway area. So, if you really think you're interested in something that's unique, set it aside till you make your decision, because it's very disappointing when you come back and it's gone.
And that has happened to me, because my creepy-eyed dolls that you keep teasing me with, I go over and I'm like, oh, shoot, I should show Amy this. And then I'll come back and be like, oh, it's gone. There's somebody else out there collecting them. Yeah. But they're awesome. But yes, you're absolutely right. If you see something, get it.
Yeah, get it, or just ask us to put it back if you need to, think about it for a minute.
Well, I'll ask you this. Let's do this first. You're watching the Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Susan Bill with us here this morning, Titusville Market Square. Here's something that I find kind of refreshing, because I've been other places where, you ask somebody a question about something, and it seems like I have to, call, and it's going to be a couple days, I'll get back to you. It seems like when there's a question in your store, you have the answer really quickly.
We have a great staff. We're a little short staffed right now. 2 of our main gals are out, so Bill and I are manning the store. Our main gal, Lisa, she's hopefully going to do a little part-time coming back, knee replacement, and then another gal with some family health issues. But our staff is great. Randy's there. He likes to talk to people. He is great with, I hope he's not watching, because I don't want him to blow up his head, but he's really great with the customers, and, has kind of a story, kind of knows everybody.
He knows everybody, so that's a great thing. And, it's a down-home attitude there, small town.
Well, I tell you, and with that, though, Susan, when people are coming back to visit, there's a good chance he might know somebody. And actually, I talked to him recently in your store about this. He goes, yeah, so-and-so was just up, from Florida, and we had a chance to catch up. And it was like, that's great.
He's very social.
Yeah, but that's really good. It's a really friendly environment.
Again, that's the whole concept of our store. It's called Market Square. In the old days, there was the Market Square, and people would come and buy, but that they get to talk and converse
and catch up with
people. So that is kind of the concept of the store.
Do you smile when you see that? Like when you're walking in and you see people talking?
I do. I think it's kind of fun. Yeah.
I love it. I see people like maybe I graduated with, I haven't seen in 40 years, like, or even kids that I worked with 20 years ago, they were kids, now they're adults. It's like, I
had you in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
I heard you.
So I always get yelled at with this question, because I know it's the 4th of July, there's still a lot of summer left. Oil Festival's coming up, and that leads into fall, and that leads into the holiday season. If somebody had items and they're like, I really kind of want to get started, and I'm interested in being a vendor, would they be able to come in and get something set up with you in time for Oil Fest, in time for the holidays?
They would. We have a very quick turnaround process. This is a peak time with the train running, a lot of tourism in the area, trains and the trails and Oil Festival. So, this time of year is an excellent time to set up. Really, right from now, clear on through December. We get maybe a little lull in January, but then we're right back at it with our yearly promote strawberries.
Yeah.
And here we go again.
It's a quick process to get signed up. If you come in, we have a little application, takes a minute to fill out. We kind of discuss with you what products you have, make sure it's not like doubling something that somebody else already has, and we put people in within a day. So if you have a cool product, and our minimum startup price is $30 a month, $1 a day.
Beat that, yeah.
20% commission, and we have several booths that you can come in, and as long as you have something cool and unique. And
when you look at the commission part of it, look at what they're getting. They're staff members, credit card process. There's all this added benefit.
Exactly. Customer service, the bags, taking care of them. We handle their sales tax for them. It's it's a pretty easy process for the vendors, and a good way to test out a business, or just stay with a lot of people have 2 businesses. They can trust us to handle their goods and have their day job, but still have a successful side business with a vendor booth.
That's right. That's great. So come in, get your tickets for the Wine, Shine, and Brew, but also just walk around, take some time and enjoy it. What are the weekend hours and with the holiday and rest of
Glad
July?
you brought that up. We were just talking about that on the way in. Normally, we're open on the weekends, but I think we're going to possibly close. Well, we're going to close at noon tomorrow, being the 4th of July, but we will be open 8 to noon. Last minute chip dip, cottage cheese, anything you might need for your picnic from the Titusville Dairy.
And that goes fast, so that don't think about that, right? Go in and get it now.
That goes too. We had a real run on cottage cheese those last couple of weeks, but and then Saturday, I don't know. We will announce on Facebook, but I think we're going to be closing because it's a holiday weekend. On Saturday, we might close at noon also.
8 to noon.
Sunday, our normal hours are 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We'll have that normal day, and then Monday through Friday, we're 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. through weekdays. So.
That's great. And you mentioned the traffic from like the train and people visiting. That's great when they are able to come in and find something, especially on a Sunday, right?
It is. They love that. They're looking for something to do in Titusville. They're looking for something to do. They have a wide variety. I'm trying to expand our Titusville souvenir area, but we have some Titusville items and T-shirts and stuff like that.
Postcards.
So they like that postcards, Titusville postcards. So
that's great. And Bill, there's other local artists, right? In terms of authors that books you guys carry too.
Oh yeah, we have at least 5 others. I have Robert Pringle that does the Tinesta books. Kathleen Shea does a book. Kim Cornell and
Diane England. Is that
Doris England and Shannon Bailey. So we have several. The whole area of books,
Okay. I noticed my book isn't available in there yet, but it's a collection of hand-drawn stick figures. I'm working on it.
Yeah, and if you do like a book or something small item, you don't have to pay like $30 a month. We'll just, find an area for you. We just charge a little higher commission for something like that, like 30% generally.
Great. Susan, you want to switch caps real quick?
Okay.
What's going on at the lake?
Oh, at the lake. This is a big weekend at Canada Lake. Our world famous or state famous fireworks are Saturday night up there. So I will be out in my usual, I go out on my pontoon boat, as several do, and watch them. It's beautiful to watch it right from the water. You have a front row seat. But really, any angle on the lake is great. They're shooting Gibson fireworks this year, shooting the fireworks right off barges off the lake. They reflect on the water. It's just quite the weekend. There's some other activities. I think there's a golf cart and bike parade, and it's just a big, everybody comes in for the weekend up there. Big picnic weekend. Lots to do. I hear there's some big name entertainment, maybe out on the beach at the Frog Pond playing Saturday night.
Okay.
So, some fun.
But Bill won't be performing.
No, he won't
not
be.
there.
All right, $1 Million Bill. There's your act.
Okay.
That's my $1 million song. My one-hit wonder is Pontoon. So I sing that with Flashback, and one year Flashback performed out in the water on a pontoon. So I've sang Pontoon on a pontoon.
Excellent. That's fantastic. All right. Tickets are available online.
Online
and
through eventbrite.com and in-house at Titusville Market Square. And sometimes I'll have to drop by the chamber. The chamber office has helped us out, but maybe I'll see if there'll be a few over there at the Mercantile at the chamber too.
Okay. And then, Bill, great collection. Just the best thing is just come in.
Just come in, yeah.
Walk around, take your time, enjoy it.
We get a lot of calls like, hey, I want to be a vendor. Like, you just got to come in so we can, talk. You have to talk in person,
It's a very
see what we have.
unique animal. You have to see it.
Yeah. And for those first-time people that come in, what's that reaction? Is it like, oh, wow?
It is. It's
okay.
They did. We didn't know this is what it was. I mean, I'm still amazed. We've been there 6 years now. The people that are first-timers coming in that are local. But we love it when they come in and see what we're all about.
Corner to corner, it's just packed full of great things. So stop in, Titusville Market Square. Hey, thanks.
Thanks.